Cardio is useless. So in this video, I'm gonna talk to you about what I think about cardio exercise. And before you start commenting, because every time you debunk a myth that is eradicated into people's mind, there's always someone that gets triggered because it takes that personally. Before you comment it, try to understand, try to listen to what I'm about to say, okay? Try to understand the philosophy of what I'm about to say. So many people are not gonna like this video, and that's because humans have the tendency to develop emotional attachment to everything. Even exercise, cars, scientific theories. But anyways, let's talk about cardio and why I believe that cardio is useless after the intro.
Muscle failure can be described as the point where you can no longer perform another voluntary contraction. Let me give a practical example.
Who running the game now? Foot on the gas, they slow down. No, my team, we holding it down. We know we running it now. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change, yeah. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. I do not gamble, but bet on me. Tell them that's life, yeah, it's still la vie.
So, the reason why I believe cardio is useless is because, according to science, we don't really need any, slow, light intensity, steady activity. So people attribute to cardio three main benefits. One, they believe that cardio is helpful for fat loss. Two, they believe that cardio is helpful for stamina, okay, to improve your endurance. And three, they believe that cardio is optimal for overall general human health, improving the cardiovascular system and everything. So let's debunk these three myths. I'm gonna try to keep it short and brief so I don't get too boring. And I'm trying to be as fluent as possible, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not used to talk front of a camera, okay? So slowly the video on my channel will get better day by day. But if the quality is not what you expect, please forgive me for that. So here's the thing. Why cardio is not very useful for fat loss? So, there is no physical activity that consumes enough calories to deserve of being labeled as fat burning activity. Now, regardless of how much you move, how active you are, what activity you do, your body will make adjustment, okay? So we have something called resting metabolic rate and total daily energy expenditure. So I'm gonna put in the video here the formula that I like to use to calculate the BMR, which is the Mueller formula. Anyways, this Mueller formula help you to understand your basal metabolic rate, which means the total amount of energy your body needs for the simple fact that you're alive, to carry your system, you know, the energy you spend when you sit, when you drink a coffee, when you watch Netflix, okay? Once you find your resting metabolic rate, you're gonna multiply for 1.4, which is the total amount of energy that consider also the energy you use for physical activity. But here's the thing, there is a limit of how much energy you can use in physical activity, okay? So once you multiply your BMR for 1.4, you're gonna have your total daily energy expenditure. But the thing is, you can increase that over a certain limit. Let's say my metabolism is 2000 calories, okay? I'm gonna do physical activity and I'm gonna use 600 calories, 700 calories, okay? Do you think that at the end of the day, my metabolism, my total daily energy expenditure is gonna be 2000 plus 700? Absolutely not. And that's because it doesn't matter how much energy you put into the physical activity, your body will detract the energy that you spend for the physical activity to the resting metabolic rate. So you have a metabolism of physical activity and a metabolism for a resting metabolic rate, okay? Here's the thing. Let me give an example. When you work for 10 hours and then you do 2 hours workout, then you go back home, I challenge you to read a book, 10 pages, study those pages and make a synthesis of that. Summarize those 10 pages. You're gonna fall asleep. Now try to do the same task on a Sunday where you completely rested all day. When you spend too much energy in a physical activity, then your body detract those extra calories you spend for that physical activity from your resting metabolic rate. Your body makes adjustment. And that's why you don't need to do any physical activity to burn fat. All you need is to diet. Because at the end of the day, you always spend the same amount of calories no matter what you do. What really dictates how much energy you consume is your body. How much muscle do you have and the quality of food that you eat, but mainly is the amount of muscle that you carry, the lean body mass. This is the factor that dictates how much energy you're actually going to use. Wait, am I actually recording? Oh, okay. Good. So I'm pretty sure you're watching this video and you know at least one person in your life that lost a lot of weight without even going to the gym. Because you don't need to go to the gym to lose weight. Physical activity is not required, okay? Now they made an experiment called the Minnesota experiment. I'm gonna post all the reference down below. In this experiment, they had people going through a phase of starvation, and while they were starving, they were doing physical activity. And guess what? They found out that their metabolism adjusted, and they lost 0 pounds of weight. Because when you burn too much calories, when you create an excessive calorie deficit, okay, whether it comes from excessive diet or whether it comes from a diet plus exercises, it's the same. When you create too much of calorie deficit, your body is gonna make an adjustment. Your metabolism is going to reduce because your body is smart. And they found out that during starvation and physical activity, people burned 0. So this suggests that physical activity doesn't necessarily help you to burn fat. Now, another myth that people attribute to cardio is that cardio is gonna help you to improve your stamina. So here's the thing. Let's say you are a boxer, okay, or you do jiu-jitsu or whatever type of physical or whatever type of sport, and you're struggling with the stamina, with endurance. You do 4 rounds of sparring and then you're like, oh, I got out. Many of you will do the mistake to start running following the suggestions of your coach to improve your stamina. Now, according to scientific studies, one from the 76 and one from the 77, one should be strong at all, another one should be Stalin at all. So according to these studies, what they found is that, well, first of all, these studies use a value called VO2 max. VO2 max in sports science is what we use to assess your stamina, your endurance, okay? VO2 max is the maximal oxygen uptake that you can use, you can consume before the activity start to become heavy, before your body start to rely more on the anaerobic metabolism, before your body start to produce lactate, before your body start to exchange more carbon dioxide per oxygen, okay? All these things that happen when you really feel the exercise getting heavy, okay? So before you get to that threshold of fatigue, there is a maximum consumption of oxygen that you can use. Using this parameter of VO2 max, we assess your endurance, your stamina. So they analyzed the VO2 max of athletes that were doing like cycling, swimming, other type of activity in their specific sport. And then they assessed their stamina on a treadmill. And what they found is that they incredibly had a higher VO2 max in their own activity than during an activity that they never practiced before. So your stamina, your endurance is extremely specific to the skill that you practice, and it does not transfer across activity. Now, in another study, they trained subject only using one leg on an ergonomic bicycle, okay? And then they tested the VO2 max on the trained leg, and what they and then on the untrained leg. So they trained only one leg. And what they found is that when they were collecting the VO2 max to assess the stamina, the endurance that they collected from the trained leg did not transfer to the untrained leg. So your endurance is not only specific related to the skill that you practice, but it's also related to the body part that you use. So stamina is not a generic factor. Stamina is a peripheral factor, okay? I'm gonna link the studies in the description. So we just covered 2 points. Cardio is not gonna help you to lose fat because your body adjusts, okay, to the calorie that you consume. At the end of the day, you always gonna burn almost the same amount of calories whether you exercise or not. The amount of calories you burn is related to the amount of muscle that you carry, okay? So to lose fat, you need diet, you don't need cardio. To improve your stamina in a specific skill, you have to practice that skill. Stamina does not transfer across activity. Now the third myth about cardio is that cardio will somehow improve your cardiovascular health more than strength training. Where this is also not true. Your cardiovascular health, as any other system in your body, react to the intensity of effort, okay? So slow and steady activity, aerobic activities, are inferior in stimulating an adaptation in your cardiovascular system in any of your body tissue compared to strength training. Now I'm gonna link down below a list of studies that proved how short bursts of exercise were superior in improving cardiovascular health and stamina compared to traditional aerobic endurance training. There's also a meta-analysis that had involved Fisher, Steele, McGough, and other big name in sports science, where they found out that resistance training to momentary muscle failure was probably the most optimal approach to improve your cardiovascular system. So your body doesn't know that you're doing cardio. Your body can only detect how hard you're performing a task, okay? The harder you go, the more intensity you achieve, the greater the result will be. So if you do strength training, well, strength training is gonna cover all these 3 points. It's gonna help you to lose fat, because when you grow muscle, you're gonna enhance your resting metabolic rate. It's gonna potentially improve your stamina, because your muscles are stronger and are able to manage more wasting byproduct. So you're gonna become metabolically more efficient. And strength training will severely improve your cardiovascular system. So every single type of adaptation benefit that you try to get by doing cardio exercises can be achieved and enhanced at the maximum extent just by doing strength training. So I tried my best to explain this stuff. Again, I'm gonna watch this video. I'm not gonna edit. I'm just gonna post it raw. I hope you guys enjoyed. If there's anything that you didn't understand in this video, please comment down below. I'm gonna take my time to reply to you. Also, you will find it in the description article that I wrote about this topic, so you can read it on my website. It's a bit shorter with all the references, okay? So all the scientific studies that I mentioned in this video, you find all there. Also, if you want to start working with me to join my online coaching, there is another link down below. You can book a free 40-minute call. And even if you don't want to join the coaching, it's a chance to have a free consultation, and where I'm gonna give you a free strategy on how to grow your next 5 kilograms of muscle in the next 2 months. So that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. To conclude, you don't need cardio, you only need strength training for everything, and enjoy your Sunday. Ciao!